Okay, it seems that nobody will join. And the items that we have on the agenda are mostly about Eric, but this release time and release content that we can talk on.
Yeah, I also had a couple of things. Yeah, first we can start with the release.
Yes.
So I was thinking of we freeze the code June 30 and make the release by July 15th, July 2nd week.
Okay. Try to share my screen, but
Yeah, I'm able to see it.
see, okay. Okay, do you know anything about this orthodox issue?
There was few merges which he had done.
But it's still not
Yeah, it's still
showing,
not.
I guess.
Yeah, it is still not.
Nope.
Let me check. Yeah, now it shows.
It shows.
VOLTHA release note shows, but let me check. Nope, it doesn't show it yet.
Yeah. Okay. I will ask Eric offline.
Okay.
Yes, there was an other issue about this Jenkins pipelines. They were failing, and you wrote to Eric, and he pointed out a task open for that. And in this task, he says that the reason pipelines are failing are the version of the flag 8. He did a change here in this patch and update some of the requirements here. That their version, you see, it's 3.8.2 is updated to 7.2.0, and there are some other updates here. And it seems that these pipelines are failing because the current Ubuntu version used does not include these latest, versions of these libraries. That's what I understand from the notes, Eric added to this task. So what he suggests is what I understand from his suggestion is to, loosen the restrictions. So that means, I guess, change the requirement back to some old versions, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know, which one. If you change the flag, then probably the other one, the next one will be failing. So there are a lot of changes here. So are we going to change them one by one and see which one is working and which one is failing, etc.? Is the correct way of doing it? I don't know, actually.
We can look it up and see if we can find something.
So this can be an option, but why don't we think to upgrade the Ubuntu? Can that be another option or not? So if the Ubuntu is too old, the Ubuntu that we were using in this tests, etc., why don't you think to upgrade it?
Yes, but I don't know what all will break, and that too now we are nearing the release time.
Hmm.
Probably better we back it off now, and then right after the release we'll start the upgrade. Now for the upgrade, probably we'll have to speak to Jan on this because the Eric probably won't do this. I think so.
Okay, you think this is not in Eric's boundaries, it's in our
Yeah.
boundaries.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then I mean, we need to do, then talk to Eric and, solve this problem before the release.
Yeah, I think so. Quite a few things on Eric. Probably next meeting we'll have to ask Michelle so that he joins.
Okay, I'll try to reach out him offline and see what's his, situation, what's doing. I mean, is he doing anything about this task or the previous one, etc. And what's his thoughts about, joining these meetings. I'll try to reach out him this week.
Okay.
And about release, yeah. So when checking the current open patches, I see there are some patches about multi-NLI, some patching about on-demand statistics, and some Go version upgrades, patches, and a few bug resolutions. So which ones do you target to, put into this release?
Yeah, actually, all of them. Um, these bugs are also needed, and on-demand stats is needed. Multi-NNI is needed, and also there will be one more coming, wherein we disable the ONU at CLOM level. So these three, along with the fixes, are needed. So I had asked the team. I usually review this internally, and also I asked them to get in touch with you, Sarkant, and everyone to have a look once.
Yes, Sakant is off. He's on PTO this week, probably more than a week, 2 weeks. He's on his PTO. But you can reach out to me, and I'm trying to, follow what's going on the mailing list, on the Slack, etc. And I, check most of them, I guess, reviewed most of them. But there are, failing ones, needs to be fixed, etc. But I'm on that. But Serkant, I don't think he can do currently.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. You can have a look. The failing
Okay.
ones are probably due to the protos not being merged yet.
Got it.
So I have asked the team to upload it once the protos are merged. So that should be fine. But whatever is there, the code you can review once, at least the implementation side. Okay. I had one more point, Matt. So what I was thinking was, now we have the design pages, and everything is put in the design page, more like in detail, I would say. But what I was thinking was to write sort of a spec on how the behavior should be on the OLT and OLT adapter. Like, like the states, right?
Okay.
So
You're
we can
talking
write
about the
a
Volta docs?
no, okay. The Volta docs, they say how the architecture overview, like what should be what, and what is the stack, what is ONU adapter, what it does, and all. But it also speaks about the operator workflows, how everything. But now what I want to write is, okay, fine, a device, one OLT device, correct? What all state transition it can go, okay? And who is responsible for the state transition? Like when I said who, it's core, or it is the OLT adapter, or it is the ONU adapter. The same for the devices, for the ONU devices, and also for the PON port states. What should be the behavior now? I plug in the cable, I plug it back in, and I reboot the OLT, what should be there. So like a spec. So I was also thinking.
In another document, you mean you don't want to write them into the Volta docs, but you want to prepare some kind of documents.
Yes, correct. On the behavior part. So the document says, okay, fine, these are the states, what all are possible. But it doesn't say per se, if this happens, if the OLT reboots, this has to be done, and adapter has to update this, core has to update this. So that part is not clear.
Got it. Yeah, great. That would be great, I guess. So
yeah. So where I'm coming from for this is, now in DT we have Atran and Huawei, right? So yes, they do it, but some things they say that, okay, fine, we're not clear, it's not very well defined. What should be the behavior? Now I can point them to the design page, but again, the design page says there should be, but it doesn't say who has to do it, whether the adapter has to do it or the core has to do it. So I think so having a sort of a spec on what the behavior should be would be helpful, and also it would be a reference point for whoever wants to come up with a new adapter or come up with a new OLT or whatever.
Okay. Have you checked the existing documents in the Seva Volta Google Drive?
Yes,
Okay,
I checked.
Because that might be some documents that would be helpful. There are some small parts of documents about this and that, that some of them may help.
Yes. There are,
yeah,
there is quite a bit of documentation there. Correct. It's there. I've seen it, not all of them, but quite a few of them I have seen. So quite a few things are documented very well.
Okay, I mean, how do you want to do that? I mean, like with whom and with which process? Are you going to, I don't know, open a task about this, to describe the work there and start documentation to open everybody, or you start to write it and then open to us? I mean, if you can, define a process for that, then perhaps we may help. I mean, at least I can help with that.
Yes. So I'll come up with a plan, like how do I want to split it? So I'll create sub items, like, okay, fine. One is like what happens to the device as such, like whether it's an OLT or ONT, and what are the transitions it can go through. And then one sub item would be that, and another sub item is for the ports, on ports. What should be the behavior? And what should be the events which are mandatory? So I can split like that, and I'll put a few sub items, and then we can review if we want to split them further, or if we want to add something, then we can go ahead and add to the list. And once we are finalized with the list, then we can share among each other, like who wants to take up what.
Okay, good. Let's open a task for that, Abhilash.
Yeah.
And then, when you prepared something draft, you can share the link there and we can synchronize on that task. At least we can reach the document via this task and then check it, okay?
Yeah.
Then I put here that Abhilash will open a task for this. Okay, I took my note. That's great, okay. And how is it going about this interface documentation?
The Protos one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Protos one, I didn't make much progress over there because of these features which I have to pull up and get it done. Probably next after the release, probably. I just prioritize these things over the documentation.
Okay. Okay, and I think I missed the dates you said about the release. What did you suggest about the code freeze date and the release date?
So the code freeze is June 30.
Oh, do you think
Author.
June 30? Okay.
Yeah. And another 20 days. And release we can do second week of July.
You said 13th, not 30.
No, 30.
30, okay.
Oh yeah, 30. Sorry.
30. Release at the second week of the July. Okay. Anything else, Abhilash?
No, nothing from my side.
Okay, thank you. And then I'll reach out to Eric for this first two items.
Okay.
Okay. See you then.
Thanks, mate. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.